Alright guys, open up your math notebook, turn to the page listed on the instructions, write your date in the corner, your TEK is 5.4b, and your title is How Can You Solve an Equation? So you're going to divide your paper into 4 sections, and in the circle, in the center, you're going to start with what operation is it? Okay? Is it add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Those are our 4 operations. We're going to jump over here to this corner. Okay? Your equation is 15 plus x equals 24. So you're trying to solve and figure out what x is. This is your blank. Okay? Remember, you have been doing algebra since you were in first and second grade. Okay? Instead of just a fill-in-the-box blank, you're calling it a variable now. You're giving it the letter x. So you're going to look at x, and you're trying to figure out what you're adding to 15 to get 24. So we can think about our fact families, think about inverse operations, the opposite operation. If you're going to add that number to 15 and get 24, we can subtract 15 and get what we're adding. We're going to work backwards. Okay? So I wrote 15 plus x equals 24. I'm going to subtract 15. So if I subtract it over here and over here, hey, this will make that 15 0. And that'll just leave you with your x on this side. 24 minus 15 will give you 9. So your answer is going to be that x equals 9. You always check your answer. 15 plus 9 equals 24, and you put your check mark. Pause it here and write all this down. Okay. And we're going to move it over to our subtraction equation. We've got 94 minus m equals 13. Now we're going to think, what do I subtract from 94 to get 13? We're wanting to fill in this variable. We're wanting to fill in that blank that it used to be. Okay? So we're going to say, well, if I subtract 94, hey, I can figure it out. Now, of course, we can't do 13 minus 94. That's not how it works. So I came over here and I flipped it. I got 94 minus 13. 4 minus 3 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. So we got 81. So our m equals 81, and you can always check your answer. 94 minus 81 equals 13. Now we're going to move on to our multiplication. Now remember, anytime you see a variable next to a number, it's multiplying. So we have 37d equals 111. What do I multiply 37 by to get 111? Well, we're going to do the opposite of what operation that we're doing. So we're multiplying here, we're going to divide. And remember, writing a bar like this is called a division bar, and it means you're dividing. So if I divide over here, divide 37 by 37, doesn't that kind of look, if you just ignore the variable for a minute, doesn't that just look like the fraction 37 over 37? And if you have the same number over each other for a fraction, that equals 1, right? If you were to divide 37 by 37, the answer would be 1. So all we're looking at right here is that that's going to be 1 times d now. Okay? We're going to divide this other side by 37 as well. If we do it on one side, we're going to do it on the other. Okay? So we come down here and I write out my division. 37 will go into 111. I'm going to estimate. Okay, this one is close to 40, and this is close to 100. So 2 of them would give me 80. So I went ahead and went with 3 to see what 3 would give me. I came over here and I worked it out. Okay, 3 times 7 is 21. I carried my 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. So I have 111. Finishing up my division over here because that's what we were doing. I get that D is equal to 3. And you can always check it out, which we did right here. We multiplied 37 times 3 and got 111. Now we're going to look at division. 48 divided by R equals 8. So this, remember guys, that division bar, hey, it might look new, but it's the same thing as saying 48 divided by R. And it's telling you that it equals 8. So what do I divide into 48 to get 8? Think about your fact families, guys. We already know it's 8. 8 times something is going to get you close to 48, or you can switch it around and divide 48 by 8. And that should give you 6. And of course, you can always check your answer. 48 divided by 6 gives you 8. So you check that off. You can check your answer. 8 times 6 is 48. 48 divided by 6 equals 8. So our R, our variable, is 6. So be sure you've gotten all of that copied down. You can pause it here if you need to pause it. On your output side, you've got 4 examples that you're going to do. One for each operation, just like you did over here. I'm going to zoom in on that. You're going to copy those down, and you're going to show me your work on figuring out your variable for each problem. Okay, and we're going to do some more practice and more explanation tomorrow in class. Have a good night, scholars.